Thank you for inviting me. We have been working together for a while. So normally we do this kind of presentation at Adobe Office, but today is going to be a bit different, no? Because the COVID situation and everything. So first, I'd like to introduce myself, but I like to know first what is my audience. So do you think that we have time to do like a quick
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
go ahead. Thank you so much.
yeah, so I would like that everyone can introduce you really fast, so I know a bit what is the people and what you want to learn mainly in this session, so I can focus more in these topics, no? So yeah, if we can start with Paulo maybe, or they are mute, no? So
Yes, so as you call each participant, you can ask them to unmute themselves. So participants, as he calls your name out, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Thank you so much.
okay, so Paulo, you are the first.
Alrighty, thank you very much, especially for this opportunity. So I'm Paulo. I am part of that technology team here in the Bemol. There's the company names are the bigger retailer here in the north area in Brazil. We are part of that Amazon state, based on Manaus City, the capital of the Amazon. So we are exactly in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. We are starting our digital transformation journey, and lots of learning opportunities since we started these training. So we are here to listen and learn with the others. So thank you for that opportunity.
Okay, Mikael, your turn.
I'm your interpreter, sir. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Mikael, can you hear better now, Alejandro? He is using his headsets.
Well, a bit, but the sound is not still not very good, I guess. But well, I'll try.
Everyone can hear me correctly because I'm using my microphone and my headset, so it's will be fine. So, okay, so Alessandra, your turn.
Hello, sorry. Actually, I'm using the Zoom account of my wife. Actually, my name is Rafael. I'm from Brazil also, but I'm from São Paulo City. I work with a consulting in some companies here. I have my own company. And of course that I'm here to learn with you guys about the digital transformation. I love the exponential technology. So this is what I love to do. This is what I love to study. So thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rafael. You change your name. So KYC Consulting, the next one.
Hi there. I'm so sorry. I was just running to the computer. I knew you'd call me. So I work with corporations and small business owners with digital transformation. At the moment, I focus on RPA, but because of the current climate, I really want to understand best practices and your learnings and strategies. Sorry you can't see me. Hello there.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Next one would be Tan Nguyen.
Just say their names a bit louder. We need to get their attention.
Tan Nguyen, yeah. Maybe you want to start.
San, can you hear us? Can you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself? Well, that's okay. Dennis, would you like to go next?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
So I'm Dennis. I'm an executive director of a retailer and a distributor in Ukraine. So we've got online, offline, and distribution all over Ukraine of baby products, fashion, shoes, strollers, toys, etc. So a big part of our business is brick and mortar, so retail. And yes, we are experiencing the retail pains of like every other retailer in the world, with the traffic falling, etc. That's it.
Cool. I'm checking the, okay, so it's changing me here. So Sophia.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is. I work for Novartis. In fact, Novartis today, and I've worked almost all my career. So, as you can imagine, we are to do this digital transformation, and yes, that's it.
Cool. So you can be next.
I see that people didn't hear me.
German.
Hi, I believe Sophia is keep trying to talk. But
Yeah.
hi, I am also part of Novartis. I'm from Mexico, and I am very interested in how to impact the digital transformation, but also participating in the new culture with this digital transformation, how we can get this journey going and really have a positive impact in the organization. So that's why I'm very interested, and also do some tips or tools that we can use during this digital transformation. So
Okay,
hi,
perfect.
everyone.
You will be the next one.
Hello, thanks. I'm also from Novartis. I'm in the pharma business. My background is that I am physician, but right now I'm studying digital marketing, so that's why I'm here, for learning more and helping Novartis to get in this digital culture. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Vivian. Vivian, can you hear us? You need to unmute. So. The last one, I believe, Ricardo Ibarra. Ricardo?
Ricardo, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear.
There you go. Let's have you introduce yourself. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Ricardo, and I'm a product manager in Novartis, Mexico. And I'm very glad to be here with you.
Okay, perfect. So is anyone that I missed? Sorry, because we were.
Hello.
I have an Axel.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, this is Axel. I'm brand manager as well as Novartis, and I hope that we are here to learn a little bit about how to build an innovation culture in our company.
Okay, perfect. So thank you everyone for the introduction. I will try to focus more in some of the topics that you mentioned. So let me share my screen. So 1 second. Okay, presentation, 1 second. Can everyone see the presentation here? So today we are going to talk. Today we are going to talk about digital transformation. If you have any question, feel free to interrupt me in any moment. We are going to focus about how Adobe is doing digital transformation, but in general also how many of the companies in Silicon Valley are doing. No? So first of all, a little bit about me. I have been working more than 20 years in tech. I have been an entrepreneur for like more than 10 years, and I built different startups. Some of them were even acquired here in Silicon Valley. No? After that, I was working for exSplunker, that is a very popular company because they do a lot of big data. And in the last 4 years, I have been working in Adobe, helping to build all the infrastructure to scale to millions of users. I was lucky to study in different business schools and schools here in Silicon Valley. For example, one is called FAD, that they have a really good bootcamp. And also I have been working as a product manager, and I studied in product school. That is one of the main academies here for studying product management. No? And first of all, I try to focus a little bit about how it's working in Silicon Valley, because normally what we do is like the kind of visit at Adobe office where I explain people how things work at Adobe and how they are doing many different things. No? So, for example, like when we do the kind of Adobe tour, like we see a different we see different things that are very interesting. Like, for example, all the culture is completely open space, so everyone is working in the same place and location. So it's a way that we can share knowledge between the employees. People really like to visit our office also because we have the kind of typical perks, but for example, all the food, all the deliveries is made by the company, and we have subsidized foods and things like that. No, we work a lot with a company that is called Bon Appetit, and Bon Appetit is the company that started with Google to provide all the food to different companies, like one of the perks that we have. No. Other things that people like about Adobe is also that we have a shutdown in July and December, so this allows us to have like a really nice work-life balance. No? And while working in Silicon Valley it's interesting, no, because you have all the tech companies in the same place. No? Now things with the COVID are changing, no, because the companies are becoming more open to work remote. So all the employees at Adobe, Facebook, Google, all these companies are working completely different. So I think that now it's an opportunity, and many of the companies are doing well. No? So if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at the moment in anything that you want to learn. No? So working in Silicon Valley is very special because it's where all the tech companies are. So all the digital transformation and all the changes are happening here. So, for example, that is how Google started, or Yahoo, or Facebook, and other companies building products that we call, starting with something very simple in the beginning, like what they call the minimal viable product. But now the requirements are getting more, because the companies are improving. They want to do something that they call MLB, that is minimal loved product. No? So they try to build products that the customers love. No? So every company have a different way to approach digital transformation. It depends how the company is doing. But for example, depending on the company, for example, for Amazon, something very important was the delivery. For Adobe, was very important the subscription model, because we moved to the cloud. So every company is doing digital transformation in a different way. And even digital transformation is also how you are going to move to the cloud and how you are going to make all the services and the product scale. No? So depending on the company, you need to understand what are going to be the different agents. And it can be employees, it can be the customers, even it can be the vendors. So every company is going to make a change so the company grows and scale faster. No? We are going to explore how Adobe is doing, and I'm happy to give you more details later if you want. So I'm going to give you a bit of introduction about Adobe. Adobe is a company that has been like for more than 35 years. The company started in 1982, and it's a company that it started with 2 engineers working at Xerox, and well, these 2 engineers created something really new that it was called PostScript. PostScript was a way that you can print beautiful images and graphics in printers. So they started with the idea to build the printers and also the software. But one of the first business angels or investor at Adobe, he proposed that they should focus only on the software. So they started with this idea to sell license with PostScript. Actually, Adobe was the first profitable company in less than a year, making millions of dollars only selling license. No? And something interesting, I don't know if you are aware, but do you know who was the first investor? Because the first investor was Steve Jobs, and he wanted to acquire all the company. That it was like, in the beginning, he wanted all the company, but finally they agreed to sell only the 20% of the company. And he was the first investor. And our first product was Adobe Illustrator. Many people think that it was Photoshop. And it was a moment that we started to create different digital products. No? So this is our roadmap. I mean, we created different things that nowadays millions of people are using, for example, like PDF or Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator. And we come to the beginning, what a company is doing. I mean, all the products or all the companies that are very successful, like for example, exSplunker or Adobe, is because they are building products that the customers love. For example, in the case of Adobe, we don't have any competitors. I mean, we have in some of our products like Photoshop or Illustrator or even in video like After Effects, we don't have any competitors, or at least big competitors that in terms of market share. No? So our story, well, it's like that. We started in 1982. We went public to NASDAQ. That is when we did the IPO. We created different products like Illustrator, Photoshop, and with this we started to sell license. And we acquired Macromedia, and we started to move to a business model that was more related with products that are more in the marketing side. Because you know something interesting about Adobe is like our first customers were mainly designers, creative people. But nowadays, all the big companies and all the corporations are using our products, no? Because we started to acquire more marketing products. No? Right now, many people think that we have only one business model, that is Creative Cloud, but this is something that we wanted to diversify and increase our business model to do more things. One was with Document Cloud, and it makes sense for us because we created PDF, but also what we call Experience Cloud. We were the first company also providing what we call digital experience. If I have questions. Okay. So I see that some people are using AEM, that is our content management system to have. So yeah, Adobe Experience Cloud is the way that we provide digital experience. We were the first ones to do something very unique, that is, we take all the information from Google and we know a lot about the users. So for example, we can customize experience when you are using the website. For example, if you are male or female, we can offer different experience. Or if you already bought different products, we know more information about you. So this make unique respecting all their platforms like another content management systems. But something that we did a really digital transformation is when we decided to move to the cloud. Are you familiar with, well, I know that you probably are familiar with many companies that are moving to a subscription model. We were one of the first companies moving to the cloud. Before Netflix or even Microsoft or other companies, we moved to the cloud. So I'm going to make some questions so you can interact also with me, but how do you think that a company like Adobe is going to move to the cloud and is going to offer a subscription model if it's a company that is already selling license for millions of dollars? Do you have any idea how you can make a transition to one business model to other when the company is public? You can write answers in the chat if you want, if it's easier for you. Also, you can unmute if you want to talk directly. But okay. Yeah, one of the reasons on-premise license is so difficult for the upgrades and maintenance. Thank you, Ines, for your comment. Yeah, there were different issues. One was, for example, piracy. Many people were not paying for our products, so it was harder to scale. And other thing that we were not growing. I mean, our growing users was completely flat. So one way to communicate to our customers that we are going to make more money and it's going to be more profitable and it's going to be more scalable, it's part of our CFO. So our CFO, what he did is like a business, like a kind of plan that he has to ensure that the communication is going to be good for our customers and they understand why it's good, because if not, we cannot make the change because we depend on the stakeholders to do changes. So our CEO, Santanu, and our CFO made this leverage to change to a cloud model. No? The cloud transition, even in the beginning, was not perfect. I mean, it took us like a couple of years, and in the beginning, our stock went down for a little bit. But after the years, if you compare the stock that it was like $30, $40, and now it's almost $400, the company value grows like more than 10 times the value of 10 years ago. So for Adobe, it was really good, and also for the investors and all the stakeholders that put the money at Adobe, you know. But this was the main reason, because Adobe, if our CEO, that it was Santano, didn't make this decision, probably we will not be now leading the digital transformation and being one of the biggest companies here in Silicon Valley. No? And so moving to the cloud gives us this leverage. And we didn't make nothing like Microsoft, for example. Microsoft changed to a business model, like they have a still license and subscription. We decided to go directly to the subscription. So for all the customers that we have before, we made that they migrate directly to the subscription. Also, another benefit of using subscription model is like they have more benefits. For example, if you buy all the Creative Cloud, that is like $100, so you have access to fonts, you have access to a stock image, you have access to all the products. So now it's even more cheaper for the end customer. So now the business is changing, so we need to be sure that the customers renew the license, and we have to, well, they renew the subscription, because we want that they continue using our products. So this is another question. If you move to a subscription model, how do you think that the company can be sure that the customers still use our products? Well, if we want that the customers continue using our products, we have to be sure that all the products are satisfying our customer needs. So we have all the new roles, like many companies are having, like having customer success managers. So we have a company that every product have a customer success manager and is talking directly with the customers and being sure that the product is doing what it has to do. No? Another thing, because Adobe is doing digital transformation, is with acquisitions. Probably we are not the best company hiring people right now. I mean, there are companies that are doing better than us. But something, if you want in your company to continue hiring talent, normally the startups and the small companies, because they have to build products really fast, they have all the know-how, they have all the experience. So Adobe is acquiring almost every year, is acquiring like 2, 3, or even 4 companies. I don't know if you know Magento, but we acquired Magento recently. We acquire, every year we acquire different kind of startups. We acquired EcoSign, that is the competitor of DocuSign a long time ago. And we are always acquiring new companies for trying to get advantage. Many, for example, like Typekit, that we don't have fonts, so how we integrate fonts in our products. And the way that we do all these acquisitions is trying to think how they can provide more value to the company, no? Many of them, because we want to add more value to our subscription package, so we can offer more things, no? Well, the company right now, we are more than 20,000 employees. Something very interesting about the company is like we work 24 hours in the sense like we have, for example, my team that it works in the US. We have another team in India, and we have another team in Romania. So this way we do like a good practice that we call follow the sun. Follow the sun is a way that when US has to finish their 8-hour shift, the team in India continues, and later the another team in Romania finish. So for example, if you are building a product, you can be working in new features all the time, and obviously it's cheaper to build products in Europe or in Asia, because the US is very expensive to hire engineers. I don't know if you are familiar, but here in US, in Silicon Valley, a software engineer, at least a distinguished engineer, can be making $1 million per year if he's a really, really good engineer. So, and the salaries are from 200, 300,000 per year. So it's completely different. Also, Silicon Valley it's a very expensive. So, and I think that everything is going to change with all the remote work, and companies like Twitter now, they are deciding to start hiring people that are not going to be here only in Silicon Valley. So our business, well, mostly all Adobe Creative Cloud is our main business. That is our focus, number one. We're a company that is making right now 12 billion, and our revenue is growing like 20-25% per year. And it depends also about all the decisions that we are doing every year. So if we are not acquiring all these companies, sometimes it's hard to grow. And also the digital media is growing the subscription model, because it's easier sometimes because we are the only one designer community, and we acquire biggest communities like Behance. We have all the designers know us, so we are trying to give them more offer and more services. So we have probably right now 90% of the market. No, but we have still to think about new products that they have to buy if we want to continue growing in digital media. No? And digital marketing, that is more AEM, we are growing every year, because well, it's a different cycle. I always like to say that Adobe is like having two companies in one, because Adobe is doing both. A company is doing more the creative part, and the other company is more for marketing. So, but it was the way to improve our digital transformation, because after the creative people, you have the marketing people that needs all these assets. So it makes sense that we move directly to a different markets or different segments, because other way the company cannot continue growing. It happens the same with Salesforce and other big companies here, because if you want to continue growing your business, at some moment you need new customers, new products. And now, for example, Salesforce is not only a CRM product, they have everything for a company. And for example, Salesforce is one of our biggest competitors right now. And that is why we have a big partnership with Microsoft. So Microsoft and Adobe joins to sell the products together. No? So partnership is another way to increase our so we can do better digital transformation to our customers. Something that is very unique to Adobe or other big companies like Apple is the way that they deliver products to the customers, and how they have something that they call the unique proposal, or Simon Sinek likes to tell that this is the why. So why the company exists or why it's doing things, it makes completely different. Because for example, Apple is a company that trying to inspire the customers. Marcelo is asking me about the hiring process. I can go more about that too. So because it's going to be a lot of changes now with the COVID. But finishing about the why, Adobe is trying to move to changing the world through digital experience. And you have to think that to create digital experience, you need products to create both the assets, both the marketing, both the delivery, everything. So we are the company that is doing that. And answering to Marcelo, feel free to interrupt me if you want to know more. The hiring process here in Silicon Valley, I'm going to tell you how it works. Normally, the hiring manager, that it can be my manager, communicate with the human resource team, and they publish an offer because they have a headcount. Normally, it's not like many people think, like because most of the companies like Amazon or Adobe, they need to hire people internally for their team. Normally, they don't wait. I mean, there is not that if we need now is because we have now the budget, so we decide to hire someone right now. So we are not going to wait like 3 or 6 months or 12 months, like many people think like Google or other companies are doing. And when they apply, the process, the hiring process is very similar in all the US, and is the hiring manager, well, the recruiter contacts you, and you have to do like a small phone screen. Later, you have another interview with the hiring manager, and if the hiring manager like it, normally many times you do like a kind of code challenge where when you evaluate the candidate, if it's more the business side, they do also like a kind of test, like for example, how present to the team, I don't know, how you will sell this product or how you will do something very specific, no? And later there is on site where you have to spend all the day in the office, like sometimes even 8 hours or 10 hours, talking with the team and doing different challenges. For engineering, it's more complicated because you need to do a lot of technical skills and you have to be really good in algorithms and software and things like that. And for business, it's probably the same. They are going to ask you practical cases that you have to solve in real time. So on how you experience different problems, and also they want to evaluate behavior. That behavior is like how you behave in different situations. Like what was the thing that, I don't know, that you were not agree with your manager or your team, how you solve a specific problem that you have, what is your weakness. It can be anything related with past experience or work. And now I believe that it's changing everything. I mean, Twitter and Facebook, they are saying that they don't want to hire more people in Silicon Valley, and they're going to start working more to hire more remote. Also, with this situation, all the companies are doing everything online. So all the hiring process now is completely online. You don't have to go, you don't have to travel physically to Google Office and do all the interview. I don't know if this answered your question. Okay. And more things that companies are doing a digital transformation, it depends also about the leadership. For example, if we want to move to a cloud and we need to convince the customers, this was not a technical decision, because implementing, moving to the cloud or subscription model is not a real challenge. It's more about how our customers or stakeholders are going to approve the change. So our CEO makes an excellent communication with all the customers, and the CFO meet the change. And also digital transformation can be in any area of the company. For example, how we hire people, how we get more talent, how we move to the cloud, how we are going to scale better our business. So depending on the transformation that we want to do in the company, it's going to be different. If we want to do a real digital transformation so more people can work remote with this situation, the VP of Human Resource, or they call here employee experience or people experience, because they don't like to call human resource here, and the process is going to be completely different. So you need to have really good leaders, and it doesn't matter if you are a big company or you are a startup. You need good leaders that are going to be possible to make the change. No? After this, I will open like different questions that you want to ask me about Adobe, and how, if you want to learn something more about digital transformation or maybe specific questions, I would like to know what are your questions or what you want to know more. If you want to learn something more about how the companies are doing digital transformation in Silicon Valley. You can unmute yourself if you want to make more questions.
Let's give them a few more minutes to think of the questions.
Okay.
Hi there, it's Kat. Can I just ask, does Adobe follow, I hope you haven't said it already, but a particular roadmap for a transformation or something, so that we can perhaps not just understand that we're on a success path when trying to implement a digital transformation project? Any recommendations perhaps?
Well, all the products have their own path. For example, that is why there are different roles in the company. Like, for example, you have the product managers that are more talking with the customers and understanding what are the current needs. But later you have these new kind of roles that are, we have in almost all of our products are strategic product managers, so they look more for the long term. Right. So this is more in our existing products, how we are going to innovate and how we are going to build new products, or we are going to do something interesting. For example, recently we decided to hire one of the persons that he built all the pixel in Google, so they build the camera, and I don't know if you know that we have our camera app, and we are trying to improve more customers using our own implementation of camera and have partnerships. So we decided to hire this person as a VP, so he can develop better the product strategy for the long term. But because we have 100 of products, every product is completely different. And later we have the kind of board of directors that they are meeting every couple of months, so they decided what is going to be the next strategy and what is going to be the long term. and every leader in the company is promoting something. For example, now one of our priorities is how we want to expand our marketing in the marketing side, because our revenue 70% is mostly Creative Cloud. So how we are going to do to expand faster with the marketing, no? So that is why we start with all the acquisitions that we do, and the corporate development, that is the team that finds companies to acquire, is more focused in the marketing. Because, for example, even we have competitors for, I don't know, maybe for Photoshop you have a Sketch or others. We don't worry too much, because the Sketch designers still need to use Photoshop or Illustrator or other products. So having all the products doesn't help us to continue growing more in this area. But the marketing will have more competitors, because you are working with Salesforce, Oracle, and all these companies. So the strategy is more to try to solve more problems in the marketing side. That is the one that it can give us a bigger revenue in the future, no? Because the creative part is maybe a smaller market, no?
Yeah, yeah. And with that in mind, do they then tend to look at joint ventures? Because the Dropbox joint venture was brilliant. It was seamless. Are there other, I mean, I'm in the UK, so there may be some products that maybe are not available in my market just yet, like the camera one. I don't know of that just yet.
We have a partnership team, so we make partnership, but it depends on the business line. Like, for example, Magento, that is e-commerce, they have an independent partner side that we do. Also, we have partnerships with very big companies. Like, for example, now Microsoft, when they want to sell SharePoint or Office, they are selling with Document Cloud and our signature and everything, and also they are selling the marketing products. So we have a big partnership with that, but these are in a big scale, no? So that is why now we have also a plan to move everything to the cloud with Azure, because right now we have everything with Amazon Web Service, no? But we are trying to move more to the Microsoft Cloud, because it's our big partner, and well, maybe you have heard there were a lot of rumors that Microsoft was going to buy Adobe for a while, but we're very expensive, I believe, for that acquisition. So I believe that a partnership makes more sense. And for a small business, something like that, it's more partnerships. That we have a partner manager for different business areas, and it depends where you can contribute. For example, if you are more interested in the marketing or e-commerce, we have partners managers for Marketo, Magento, and EcoSign, and all different products. So we have different people for every product. It's like, it seems like we have still this kind of structure that the company is like a startup, and many of the products we acquire and we keep it. Many of the partnership and all the organizations that we had before. The only thing that we do is sometimes we change the name, or we keep it the original name, and we call Adobe EcoSign, Adobe Magento, or Adobe whatever, but we try to keep the brands because the customers know the other product. Okay, so more questions I have. Adobe Digital Transformation is cloud plus acquisitions. Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah, moving to the cloud and the subscription model was the main thing, because the market has decided to invest more in our stock. So that this was mainly, and the second digital transformation was when we decided to move more to the marketing, and we have products for everything. For example, every year that we have to announce, for example, if you are familiar with Black Friday or Cyber Monday, well, Adobe normally reports the analytics. Why? Because all the big companies are using our products. One of them is Adobe Analytics. That people, maybe Google is more famous at Google Analytics, but Adobe Analytics, all the Fortune 500 use our product. So we report always that. So yeah, it will be the subscription model plus acquisitions plus all the acquisitions that we make to move to the marketing area. No? And I have another question here. I would love to know how these companies manage the content and how they optimize it during the digital transformation. Okay, so you mean, what do you mean with manage content?
Well, I guess it's hello, first of all. I guess it's really maybe what's the right place for content or e-content during the digital transformation. Obviously, I work for a company that is part of the Nestlé group. And one thing we have identified as needing to be optimized is really the content and how we leverage it through the different channels, particularly the digital channels. So I was just interested to know if there's anything special that those companies does when it comes to content.
Well, for content, for example, we work with different customers, like for example, public administrations that they need to manage a lot of content digitally. So you have to do different things. One is the storage, where are going to store all your assets that we provide. We have Adobe Cloud, and we provide the storage for all the content. The other thing is how you are going to verify that that content is correct, and you have to sign. For example, we have Adobe EcoSign, so you can sign documentation, and also providing all the tools that you can manage the content. So we have integrations for Creative Cloud on all of the products, so you can have a single place and you don't have to worry about the storage. And also we provide APIs and other ways to do the integration, so you can put all your content in Adobe Cloud and you can use us as a storage. The same thing that you can use Dropbox or Box more in a corporate way. And later companies are doing more like kind of automation with workflow management. So they, for example, if they require approvals, who is going to be the person, what are the actions that you have to do. So you are integrating with another workflow solutions to do more smart things. So I think that workflow management and e-content and storage and signing is one of the main pieces of that. And some of the companies are trying to integrate also artificial intelligence and other ways to improve that process. So you don't have, for example, you don't require designers or people to do that. For example, I don't know, you want to automate how you send the emails and all the content where it's going to be located, and the content can be customized. There are some VR that is recognizing by the name and is attaching a picture of the CEO, and it changes the text and say, welcome Alejandro. So it personalizes more or creates even videos, and the videos are created on demand depending on the customers, but are created automatically. So I think that there is a lot of work on that, but it's mainly automation and workflows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's Adobe support other companies in their digital transformation beyond tools or products. I mean, we work with partners to do the digital transformation for the companies, and so we don't do the consultancy. We have the partners, and the partners integrate our products. Like, for example, many big companies like Accenture or others, they are using our tools or products to move more to try to approach more a digital transformation. And I like to see also Adobe as an example to how other companies can do it to move to the cloud, or move to the subscription model, or trying to lead initiatives to improve the infrastructure or scale faster and other different things. So because digital transformation is not only to move to digital, because now everyone is digital, it's also about how you improve the experience of your customers and make it grow. So finally you have more revenue and you have better performance, and it was better for your company.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Irene, do you have any more questions? I think that I answered the ones that you have here. You can ask me about everything. And someone was asking me about acquisitions. The process to be an acquisition, normally you can be acquired by a big company like Adobe or other, or you talk directly with the corporate development to try to see if your product is interesting, or you have to be a good partner with them. And when you have been working for several years, they like your product and they decide that it's better to acquire your company, so it's better. Many startups or entrepreneurs, when they want to sell their company here in Silicon Valley, they try to approach directly to the company. Okay, Adobe Digital Transformation Cloud Acquisition plus SaaS. Yeah, let me, I can give you my email here, so you can reach me, or LinkedIn. You can add me to LinkedIn also there. Okay, so yeah, Adobe Digital Transformation is cloud, mass acquisition plus software as a service. In some way, it's more how you improve every area of the company to be in the digital world. So it can be, you have to think about the different agents. You have to think about customers, vendors, partners, employees. You can do digital transformation only improving how your employees are working. So you are able to, everyone works remotely and works better and more efficient. You are doing something good for the company. Also, it depends how you were doing things before. If before you were doing everything in paperwork and you decide to move everything to the cloud and move everything digital, like for example, I don't know, a good example would be real estate. Now, real estate, if you continue doing contracts by paperwork and you decide to use EcoSign for signing the documents, it's a big progress because you can do things faster, you can automate, you can do workflows, so the customers see a better service. But also digital transformation is how you attend your customers. If instead calling you, they can use online and they have a good customer support, it's also a way to improve the company and doing the transformation. So I believe that I will analyze the company in all the areas that you have, like hiring, human or employee resource, finance, legal, innovation, acquisitions, marketing, sales, and how you can improve it. I like to see always someone that is the guy that was doing performance higher habits was saying that he always liked to think how we can do the things 2 times better than before. So every time that you think about the process, how we can do 2 times better or 3 times better, helps you to try to improve the process, and also talking a lot with the customers and understanding what are their needs, so you can improve it, and you are going to know faster. You cannot have a bad experience with the customer. You need to learn and iterate super fast, and more as a big company, because it is going to impact to your revenue. So any more questions that you have, any topic that you want that I talk, it can be about everything in Silicon Valley. Anyways, you have my email. If you want to ask me anything, feel free to contact me or add me in LinkedIn, and everything that you need here in San Francisco or in Silicon Valley, or knowing about Adobe or another companies here, please let me know.
Thanks for your presentation.
Alejandro. Do you have any other tips that you could give us to learn about Adobe?
More tips to learn about Adobe. Well, I recommend you go, well, in the website you have all the information about our products. I don't know specifically what you want to know, but because every product, if you are more interested about partnership and integrations, I recommend to start working for our products, doing integration with their APIs, contact. They have all the products, they have a sales team, so it's a good way to approach them and try to talk with them, because all the products have this enterprise section. So at least if you talk directly with someone inside the company, you can reach to them, and I'm sure that they are happy to help. And also, I don't know, if you want to know about a specific technology, like for example, you are very interested in VR, augmented reality, I would recommend you to try to find the people in LinkedIn and try to reach them directly. I think that they are very open. Also, we have in Facebook and all the social media, we have Adobe education program. So we do webinars and a lot of material if you want to learn more. But yeah, it depends. I mean, feel free to contact me if you want that I find something for you inside Adobe, and I can find the person or the contact, or I can help you. I'm happy to help. So yeah, please let me know, because right now we have, I believe, like 140 products. So every product is a different need, and we are like a big company building many products. So every product is completely different, and it depends what are you more interested, if it's in marketing or creative or partnership or maybe it can be finance. I don't know what are you more interested, so feel free to reach me.
Thank you so much. How's working from home, Alejandro?
Well, it's great. I mean, we have been working since end of February. Now in California, things are getting worse because, because the current situation. So I believe that we are going to. They announced that until October we are going to be working remote, but some companies like Amazon decided to do until January, I believe. So I think that is going to be until the next year, because big companies don't want to take the risk, because if someone gets the virus, it's really easy to propagate to the rest of the employees, so they prefer that we work from home. Also, tech companies like Adobe, the performance is really good. And actually, in our last quarter announcement, Santano, that is our CEO, said that we are going to maybe he's going to be able to more people work remote. Many people will be happy about that. Many people working in Silicon Valley, because it's very expensive. So maybe more people start working remote. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, we have all the tools like Slack and Jira and Confluence and everything has been always digital. And my team is completely remote. So my team is in New York, Lehigh, Seattle, Romania, India, Denver, I don't know, many locations. So it doesn't affect me a lot, because the company is very used to work remote. So it's fun.
Yeah, definitely. So a few questions for you about digital transformation. So what are the most important elements of digital transformation?
Let me see. Well, for me, the digital transformation, the most important elements will be to try to find a good leader that is going to make it possible, the initiative. Because if you don't have someone that is going to initiate the change in the company, I don't believe that is possible. If you learn all the business cases for popular companies that are doing transformation, they had to originate but someone that is going to be able to do the change. So if not, I believe that it's not possible. So for me, leadership is the most important. And the second is innovation. If you don't have innovation, like for example, I don't know, Steve Jobs, all these people are innovators, so they will not be there if they will not change the things. Like for example, even Adobe, when we changed to Creative Cloud. And yeah, these, for me, leadership and innovation are very important for doing digital transformation.
Thank you. What do you feel are the main obstacles in your opinion?
Obstacles right now. Well, mainly companies that they have legacy products also. I mean, if you are building a product that the customers don't need or they love, it's going to be a big obstacle. The second is, like, nowadays everything is going to be cloud. So if your product is really old and you have a legacy product and you don't take the time to build all what they call right now containers, microservices, everything, and you have a big monster that you have to maintain and you cannot separate the product in different teams, it's going to be really hard to maintain, and you are not going to be able to scale faster and change the product for your customer. So yeah, I believe that one of the main obstacles is like how how you move to the codes and you decouple all your products so you can iterate faster.
Thank you. What are the most influential technologies for digital transformation to you?
Oh yeah, well, for me, there are different things that are changing how companies are doing digital transformation. One is, if we call out cloud and infrastructure, is going to be definitely containers. And all the big companies are moving to technologies like Amazon Web Service, not only Amazon Web Service, because you can have a very bad infrastructure in Amazon, but moving to technologies like Kubernetes and containers is something that companies are doing to scale faster. And also Facebook and all these big companies, they are moving to technologies that are easy to build the products. So like React or React Native or GraphQL, these are technologies that before you needed to spend like 6 or 12 months to build a product, and now you can do it in only 2 or 3 months. So I believe that adopting new technologies to improve the development of your products, even you have to redesign and your product is going to help you.
Thank you. How and speaking on this about the how the most invisible technology is for digital transformation, how do we create this culture of digital transformation?
Well, I give you some examples about how Adobe is doing. One is acquisitions, because you need to hire good talent. For hiring good talent, it doesn't mean that you have to hire here in the US. I believe that you have talent everywhere in the world. So you need to find or good engineers or good people that want to work in the company. But for that, you need to have a good structure. I mean, you need to have a vision, so you can inspire your employees. I'm not telling you that you have to be Elon Musk and saying that you are going to go to Mars and you are going to launch rockets, but at least something that people are really inspired. Like, I don't know, it can be in every field. Like, for example, if it's the pharmacy, I don't know, maybe now's a good motivation to build a vaccine for something really interesting. I don't know. I think that employees, some people are inspired if they believe that are part of the company. So you have to make that these people are part of your company and they share the same vision. So the culture is very important. That is why Adobe or Amazon, they have the principles, and they develop a culture for the company, and you have, I don't know, the 5 or 7 principles. So you have to be a leader, you have to be that. So every time that you do an interview, it's not only about the technical or the behavior, it's also, I don't know, because for example, Amazon wants to build new products and things like that. So they are looking also for people that are leaders and they have a kind of mindset like entrepreneur, and they can help to build new products inside the company.
Thank you. Any recommendations to fuel the digital transformation in the organization?
Recommendations is trying to talk directly with the leaders and the management to propose new ideas to improve how things are doing in general, because I think that it's easier to do it for the top to the bottom than from the bottom to the top. It's harder to do it that way. Try to think how they can innovate, because I think that innovation is very important. It can be using VR, augmented reality, doing automation, workflows. And the third will be, you don't have to forget the most important thing are sometimes the customers. So you have to understand what they need and help them to do things better. So customer success managers, I think that they are a good link between the company and the customer, and they can understand this customer needs, because you cannot build a product that satisfy all the needs of your customers, but at least you can have the voice and you can listen them and see, and the customer success manager can talk directly with the product manager, so they innovate and they create the gap between the product and the customer.
You continuously mentioned how important it is for digital for innovation. Can you give us a reason why? Why is it so important to innovate?
Well, it depends what is your goal and your vision. You don't apply digital transformation to the company, it's going to be harder to scale and increase your revenue. But it depends what are your plans. I mean, but it also improves the performance and a lot of different things. If you are moving to digital and you are able to develop the work like in less time than before, you had more time to dedicate to other things. Even you can innovate on doing things. I was reading today a book that is very interesting. That is, let me share it with you because it was fun because the name is fun, but it's called Do Nothing, and it has really good ideas because it discusses how the performance is made in the company. So imagine that the company, imagine that you build a digital transformation that your employees need to work half of the time. Your employees will be super happy, about that because they can take more holidays, they can things like that. And I'm giving you only an example, but it's interesting how you really innovate and you are first one. For example, now the biggest hospitals, they decided that instead of having 12 hours, the doctors and the nurses, they were going to work only 6 hours. And people, and it really improved the performance and everything because people operate better when they are not under stress, something like that. So I believe that digital transformation is more about innovation and how you do things better. And if you are able to do that, it can be a benefit for the company. It can be in performance, it can be in happiness of your employees, it can be happiness of your customers. So I don't know, there is a lot of ideas there that you can improve, and you can be an innovator because you do things different.
Thank you. And where is the best place to start a digital transformation?
Well, the best place to start digital transformation is changing how you use, I don't know, for example, now trying to find a use case and think how to improve it. For example, now you have all the COVID and I'm working remote, so that is the best case because companies have to adapt and they have to configure VPN access and Slack and all these tools, and for many companies were not used to that. This is like a fast adoption of digital transformation, but you have to think about something similar, like how you have a use case where you want to do something different and try to implement this in the company. It can be with a prototype or a MVP or something small, and later trying to scale, or it can be because the management, you can convince them what are going to be the benefits in the company of this digital transformation.
Thank you. We have also another question from a participant. Do you have any last important tips for startups which are struggling in the current pandemic over digital transformation?
Well, for companies that are struggling right now, I know this is a really hard time. It's going to be affected depending of the sector. For example, tech is not very bad right now, but travel industry is going to be really difficult. But I mean, I believe that this is a good opportunity to change how business models they are. For example, this is a really good example. We are now here using Zoom to talk about Silicon Valley, and you don't have to travel to the office and visiting the companies. It's not going to be the same experience, but at least you can offer something. For companies that are in the travel and the tourism industry, maybe they had to create all this experience in VR and augmented reality, so you can be in your room and you can be enjoying an experience like the same that you're going to see the 7 wonders of the world, and you can do it from your home. So you need to adopt more technology to do these things. I believe that it's not going to be the similar experience, but the companies that are struggling with the current situation because you cannot travel or you cannot do different things, you can implement more technology to do more things from home. And I believe that it's important. For example, if the gyms are closed and you cannot go to the gym, now you can have personal trainers that are doing the classes online. Or I don't know, maybe you want to learn how to dance and it's impossible to dance if you don't have another person, but maybe with VR it's possible and you can take salsa lessons at home. I don't know, it's only an example, but I believe that for small businesses or companies, that it's a good way that you think how things you can do different and you can continue doing. And maybe you are the first one and you create a new business model that because anyone is doing, you have an opportunity. Every crisis, an economical crisis or pandemic or whatever, it's always an opportunity to build digitally and do things different.
Thank you. Have you seen any changes yourself in your team in communication or productivity now that it has since been going remote?
Not in my team, because we were used to work remote on my team, so it was very easy for us to do the transition, and Adobe changed all the company, and we don't have anything that we cannot do directly online, because all our products are digital, and I didn't see any kind of restriction or anything that we cannot do it. So Santanu, well, he was named last year the best CEO here in Silicon Valley, and he was telling us that Adobe didn't have to make something different with this pandemic, because everything we were used to work remotely, and because Adobe has always this kind of policy that we had to go to the office only 1 or 2 days per week, and it's completely depends of you. So from going to the office 1 or 2 days to not going, didn't make the difference. And because our teams were used to, because we do, I believe that it's more to control our expenses, because we have only 20,000 employees, but we have hundreds of products, and we need to try to optimize the spending of the engineers. So we were used already to do everything in different locations and countries. So in our case, we didn't see it. And I can say that some people even prefer the productivity at home that in the office, because when you are in the open space, some people think that you don't have a lot of privacy when everything is open, and you feel more comfortable and you are not under stress and you can manage better your time. So it was better for some people working from home. And also you don't have to commute, so some people have like 3 hours more per day to enjoy other things.
Definitely, yeah. It's funny you touched on that. I was just going to mention that as well. We've been speaking so much about transitioning to from when COVID first started and the pandemic. We were worrying about how to help struggling businesses with digital transformation and helping them focus and target on to digitalize themselves. And it's funny, one thing that has come up now is that since we've been trying to explain about how to help and transition to the remote life, a question that comes up often is, how do we transition back to unremote life?
Yeah, it's going to be, but many people are going to prefer to continue working remote. And I have many friends in Silicon Valley that they are, for example, one of my friends, he moved now to Walnut Creek, another to Lake Tahoe, others to Sacramento, because it's cheaper, the life there, and it's even possible to commute 1 or 2 hours the other days, and it's better for them.
Thank you. I know we discussed so many different aspects and concepts about the more important key elements of digital transformation, how to create it, and what are the most influential digital information necessary for that traditional businesses. But what is the most influential technology for digital transformation to you?
Nowadays, I believe that it's cloud, because moving to the cloud helps you to manage all the infrastructure, and you don't have to. You can delegate to a vendor that is going to help you to scale the business. So nowadays, because before people used to have things in data center and it was really hard to scale, but now with all the cloud, it's easier to be in the cloud. And for me, it's something that nowadays all the companies are in the cloud. Nobody is thinking to do something different, except some big companies like Twitter and others that they still use things in data center. Most of the companies, they migrate completely to the cloud. And the second is like how you build your products. I mean, if you don't build products that your customer needs, and you don't adopt technologies fast, it's going to be difficult. I mean, because you cannot use legacy technologies. I mean, nobody's using right now PHP or technologies like everything is moving to JavaScript with Node and GraphQL and React. So I believe that it's important to do these transitions as fast as possible. So you can do a digital transformation faster, because you cannot. Something that I like about Adobe also is like the practical way to build products or moving to the cloud, because we did like 4 or 5 different transitions in the cloud. Before we moved to Amazon, later we moved to a technology that they call DCOS, and now we migrated to Mesosphere, and now to Kubernetes and other different technologies. But I like about Adobe that we are really fast adopting new technologies, and it helps us to scale. And for example, this is very interesting about that we are the only team that provides all the infrastructure to all the company, to all the hundreds of products. So they don't have to worry about security, privacy, compliance, and a lot of different things, because we are the team that have a single place. And later we had to do audits or security or things like that. The vendor has only to work in only one single infrastructure and doesn't have to work in every cloud, because many companies decide to develop in different clouds and different providers. So we build like what we call a platform as a service. So the developers don't need to, they only need to say, hey, this is my application, is running in a container. I want in Amazon, and I need this storage and memory and things like that. And it's like that. And it's really interesting, because we provide all this infrastructure to all our customers internally, and it saves a lot of money to the company also, because we are only a single location for everything.
Thank you so much. Last question for you. If businesses really need to transform digitally, why do you think so many organizations are struggling with this and to get going with this business change?
Well, that is a good question. I mean, but it's the same about any company. You don't have a vision and you don't know what you can accomplish, how you make the changes. I mean, for example, if we decide that we are not going to sell license, or, well, even more in a business perspective, we want to make more money, and we will decide to leave license, and we want to go to a subscription model. First, you need to have a path. I mean, you need to know what you want to accomplish. And this is a business part, not the technical part. Later, you decide how you can do it better. But yeah, I believe that you need to understand better what you want to accomplish. If not, it's very difficult, because you are not going to, I mean, you cannot say, oh, we are going, because Adobe decided to move to a subscription, we are going to do also. No, because it worked for Adobe, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. But it worked for Adobe because of different reasons, like the user growth was flat, the revenue was not scaling, there was a lot of piracy, people couldn't afford the money of a license. So you understand all the customer needs and you find a solution for that. But it's not like applying solutions for other companies and trying to apply to your business, because it doesn't mean that it's going to make sense for your company. So you have to analyze well the business and what you want to accomplish before.
Thank you so much. I know we asked a lot of questions at the end, but thank you so much for your wonderful and informative presentation.
Yeah.
Participants, if you'd like to get in contact with Alejandro, he has his LinkedIn there as well as his email. Please use this great opportunity to be able to connect with these great speakers. And if you have any further questions and you haven't mentioned that in the chat box, please go ahead and connect with Alejandro directly, and you can be able to ask him yourself. Thank you so much, Alejandro. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Hope that you enjoy all